I threw him out the door. He stood up to run, and I gave chase immediately. We were on a bridge above the water when I tackled him. Must have fallen into the water then. Hopefully there weren't any rocks. Yes, I fell into the water. Can't you just wait for me to tell you that myself? Sorry. Tell it to me yourself. We both fell into the water below. I threw Barolus against the cliff, then sliced into his back with the edge of my battle axe. After that, I ran. I don't know what has happened in Akamora since then, but I'm not going to take the risk of going back to see for myself. For all I know, that noble succeeded with his plan, and I've been framed for all that has happened. I plan to stay here for the time being. Well, I do hope things work out for you. So then what happened? Well, that clears things up for me. Now I'm going to have to kill you. What? Why would I kill him? When we had last left the Nerevarine, well, they had finally, seemingly, at long last, wrapped up all of their business in Hlanoic, at least for the time being, and wrapped up all of their business in the Tribunal Temple there. So they decided to head out into the areas just outside of town, where they helped out some more people, including a bunch of farmers, and they went into a big old stronghold filled to the brim with bandits, and helped out another little farm nearby that, well, they didn't formally ask for help, but they murdered the hell out of all those bandits. Now it was time to maybe find the Helvi Ancestral Tomb for a secret challenge, and perhaps finally, at long last, travel back to deliver some cursed gems, and then make their way further eastward to, I don't know, I don't know, just somewhere eastward, just to explore, just to see what's going on over there. This is the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, Tamriel Rebuilt. This is Morrowind Mondays. Welcome back. Zoop, zoop. There we are. Let's see, let me do a quick save just in case. And where is that ancestral tomb? I think it's right over here. I had just referred back to that very helpful comment that pointed it out, saying that there's a fun challenge there. Oh, look, this is actually stealing to take the Temple Dome and Weeping Vale here. Huh, how about that? Okay, let me pin my map as well. We need to get over to that little stretch of land. Good. You know, it's gotta be said, I do really enjoy, sort of the whole process of doing this in such a slow way, right? Because it means I kind of like eternally always have something to look forward to within the realm of Morrowind, within specifically even just like Tamriel Rebuilt and its connective offshoots and all that. You know, because I'm probably never going to be able to outpace the modding volunteers and all of that. I doubt it. Even since we started pulling the extended video links. Oh, shit! There's some fucking freaks out here. Okay. Good. Ooh, damn, you went flying back. But, you know, it's just fun to think about how, like, there's always going to be something else just around the corner with regards to that. Drink your booze. How about you? Anything good on you? Gortvel. I'll eat your sapphire. Should I take the repair prongs? Why not? Anything good here at their little camp? Sack of money. More money and a master pick. Okay. Neat. Sure. And what is that? Is that Hlanoic up there? Or is that... yeah, it's Idithrin. Okay. So, let's travel on over here. And let me get my water walking. There we go. Amulet of Circumnavigation. And let's get over to this Ancestral Tomb that I went right up to before. Oh, this might be it. Yeah, the Helvi Ancestral Tomb. I never actually went into it. Okay. I'm gonna mark it as cleared. Oh, missed the R. Great. I'm very curious as to what the hell's gonna be in here. I don't know. Maybe I've built this up to be too much in my head, and it's not actually gonna be that wild. We'll see. We are pretty powerful at this point, right? We are pretty powerful. We don't even yet have Spear fully capped out, but, you know, thanks to our agility, and if we keep our fatigue topped off, we're pretty much landing nearly every hit, as long as I don't have, like, Boots of Blinding Speed on. Yeah, let me get some Magicka, too. I won't do, like, a full restore on Magicka, but I'll get a little bit. Because we're liable to find a useful obelisk in there that I can use for my Atronax sign. Okay. So far, so good. There's a dead dude down there. Sounds like a bunch of nasty freaks. Let's get a pick. I mean, what's the worst that could be in here? Trapped cell door. Okay, well, let's stay on this floor for now. There we go. Anything good on you? Just bone meal. A greater skeletal champion. Okay. Iron warhammer. Guarhide boots. Wow, look at them. Okay. Maybe a little fucked up. Poor Guar, huh? Something is like fucking moaning around here. A lot more doohickeys. Scroll of the third barrier. Extravagant shoes. Netch leather helm. Iron saber. What is it? Is it like a fucking bone walker or what? Ooh, is this skeleton a caster? Yeah. Skeleton war wizard. Obliterated. Silver staff of hunger. And here we go. A triolith. Perfect. Okay. Anything that I actually want to take here? Silver ore, some Sujama. I'll drink it just for fun. A little lockbox. Small chest that needs picking. Oh, Velothi chest. Okay. What probe is near breaking that I have? Guess this journeyman's one? A steel katana. I'll keep the probe handy. There is that other area. The, wrought iron door. Oh, this too. Holy shit, I ain't been over here. This urn got complete. Yeah, look, these have all been busted up. I like the little presence of the bone meal there. These gigantic urns with just like a little dollop of poop. Fun. Okay, can I take this candle? Nah. Fuck it, let's check down here. Oh, this is what's making the horrible noise. It's another one of these. Greater Bone Lord. I'm gonna eat that stuff right there. Ooh, a bone key. Oh, the Bone Lord dagger. Okay. They almost look like a thrown weapon. Right, what are these called? Kensai? You know what I'm talking about? Like the fucking Ninja Turtles use them. You know what I'm talking about? Is that what they're called? I don't remember. Some high quality picks. I guess I should take them. Wait, hold up. What the hell? Oh, okay. I see. I was like, how do How would I have gotten down there? I thought that was the trapdoor area. Okay, let me get the pick readied. Ah, a terrifying ghost. Greater Ancestor Ghost. Amulet of Opening. A Lute. Steel Morning Star of Frost. A Velothi Coffer. Oh. There's a ruby inside, but it didn't really cause anything terrible to happen. Small sack. Bloodstone. Nope. Sermon of the Saints. Should I take it? I gotta take it. I'm also going to take that scroll. It's a decent scroll. Restore fatigue. Okay. Let's continue on. Oh, did I check this little box? Yeah. Alright. Let me get torch readied. Oh, am I out of torches? Holy shit. Well, I actually used them all. I think I've got some lanterns or whatever. Yeah. I'll use a candle. That's fun. Okay, let's head on down here. Oh. Skeleton is after me. Two-handed Terry of a skeleton. No problem whatsoever for our new souped-up spear. Ooh, okay. What am I in Vivek? Look at this. It's like I'm in one of the cantons. Okay. So did I fully check everywhere else up here? Looks like it. It's just this section now. Well, it seems like an illusory wall. Huh. Okay. Down here. A chitin dagger. Oh, Lalu Warrior Mercenary, a playing card. Awesome. Okay. Anything else? Oh, shit. Took the repair hammer. Ah, well. He is trapped and locked in a major way. Holy hell, okay. Well, there might be something real bad behind here. Okay. It's a bunch of skeletons. I think I pulled it around through the corner. Okay. As long as I'm not getting sniped at, that's fine. Damn, I busted its shield. Maybe I'm just doing so fucking much damage with this spear. Like I'm literally busting through shields. No problem. I'm open to the idea that the shield is just that damn good. Or the spear is. Cool. Silver longbow. Gray shaft of nonsense. Silences you. Okay. Other names for the Neravrine's penis. For Lord Indoril Nerevar's penis. Well, I guess at the time, right? At the time, wouldn't have been gray, you know? Actually, no. Let's backtrack it a little bit. Not true. Oh, look at this guy. Okay. Fun little new animation. Oh, and look at this terrifying shit. Good. Steel tower shield. Nothing in the urn. Fine glass candlestick. Wow. High grade alchemy equipment. Not for me, though. Oh shit, I accidentally took the wakizashi. I'll just drop it right there. How about in this urn? Oh, Oth's Hand of Heaven. Drathis's Soul Rot. Okay, I'll take those. Why not? How about on this side? Anything good? Ooh, Scroll of Restoration. That's a useful one. Another Velothi coffer. Okay, let's see here. Probe it. Bunch of money. Standard Restore Fatigue. I'll drink it. Lives of the Saints. Let's do a quick save just in case. Okay. Getting a bit sniped at here. I'm gonna go up. Alrighty. Eat it! Cool. Okay. So this door is booby-trapped and locked. This one is just locked. Is there anything else over there before we make our way into these other rooms up here? Let's check down below. Fully scope this area out. There we are. Oh, that didn't last too fucking long at all. Okay, let's get a paper lantern. Guarhide Kiris. Oh. Blast throwing stars. I do appreciate the willingness to keep parity with the core game by calling them throwing stars and not like shuriken. You know? It feels more correct to me. I don't know why, but it feels like that's just how it has to be. They're not called shuriken here. Got some steel greaves, bone mold arrow. Limeware flask. Okay. Little shield. Homily of the Pilgrim. Shirt. Goblet. Sujama. Pour one out. Ooh. What the fuck? There's a freak in the corner! Okay. What the fuck are you doing over here? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, she's really healing up. Okay. Thankfully, I'm keeping her knocked down in a major damn way. Cinda Teleno. Talisman of Toxic Terror. Demoralize humanoid 100 points for 5 seconds on target. Poison 5 to 10. What the fuck? What a wild little doohickey. Okay, I'm gonna take it. Why wouldn't I? That's a unique one. Legions of the Dead, some adamantium armor. Candles are melting. What in the world are you doing here? Excarnation. A short blade. It's a sickle. Damage health and drain health. It looks like it's chitin. I'm gonna take it. Look, I know this isn't a Daedric rune, but I'm still worried that like a freaky dude's gonna pop out and scream at me when I take something. Okay, we got some nails, hammer, right? You got a hammer, you should have a sickle. Anything else? Scroll of Summoned Skeleton, a chest, not even locked. Bargain spell absorption, I'll eat it just for fun. Angasta Kavada Kavakis, bone. More Summoned Skeleton. Moonstone. Daedrus skin. Khajiit Eye. Alright. I think someone told me a while back that Khajiit Eye is like a play on Tiger's Eye. Very clever. Wow, exclusive fortify attack potion. That's buck wild. Supreme domination, a fork. That's odd. Okay. How about up here on Artaeum, Galarian the Mystic. Never seen a kobold tongue. Should I take that? I'm gonna eat it. Weird new shit to eat. Okay. Cool. What a weird a-hole. Alright, let's head on up. Let's check those other doors. I think we're gonna need a probe, right? Probe and pick. Okay. Oh. That one is locked. Let's get a pick. Okay, let me also repair up here. Uh-oh. Okay, this one is... You're not that much of a tough customer. Sorry, I keep looking over there, expecting something else to come patrolling out of there. But I think we're good. Eternal Guardian, a glass broadsword. Okay. Let's do a quick save. So do these rooms link up? No, they don't. What were you eternally guarding in here? Wow, an ebony crossbow? Okay. Looks fucking dope. Ebony candlestick? Wow, it's very valuable. Lalu Noble Councilman. Exclusive restore health. Ooh, well, I have to eat that. Ebony crossbow is dope. Brown beetle fragment. Balathi coffer filled with ebony bolts. Should I take the crossbow? I'm gonna pick it up and place it. Okay, just in case. Yeah, I don't know. Just in case it makes something happen. Okay. Let's give this a pick. River Watch. Bone mold gear. Okay. Glass warhammer. Oh shit, it looks dope as hell. Ooh, it looks dope as hell. Okay. Oh, wow. Ebony scales? What? Ametrine and emerald. A silver ingot as well. Small sacks filled with pearls. Fire petal and hackle low. Okay. Cool. Let's probe this little chest open. Yoink. Okay, over here. Oh! Scariest thing of all in here. Steel Staff of the Ancestors. Cast when used, summon ancestral ghosts for 1 minute. Plague Bearer Bonewalker. What the fuck? What type of what? A plague? Okay. Alright, well shit, I think I got the full clear, huh? Take that. Sure. Okay. Let's see. Anything over here? Nah, nothing too bad. Okay. Yeah, that was okay. I don't know, not too terrifying, not too frightening. It was a fun little dungeon though. True enough. Got some unique goodies from it. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Let me repair up real fast. Good. I think so far the most challenging creature, or anything we have fought in Tamriel Rebuilt, was by far Parudma. Right, Parudma was serious fucking business. Including the Parudma's dungeon. That was dope as hell. As far as, like, a wild combat encounter, that was dope. Okay, so let's try and get all the way back to... Well, no, I don't want to go there just yet. Who was it that wanted the cursed gems again? I always forget. Don't touch my gems. Okay, Old Ebonheart. Sure, so let's go recall to Andothran. Lovely. It's gonna be weird when I update the game and I have to stop calling it Andothran. Right? That's definitely gonna throw me for a fucking loop. Okay. I'm gonna drop this here. It's an extra copy of that book. A few copies of this too. There we are. Throw that down right there. Lovely. Okay, that'll do. Oh, and I'll put the sickle there too. Sure. Okay, let's get on out of here. I'll do a quick save and we'll make way for Old Ebonheart to turn in these cursed gems. I should have 5, right? I should have 5 by now. Surely.
Make a special trip just for you.
Oh shoot, I can't take the Strider. Okay, let's go take the guild guide then. Right across the way. Okay, good. And then... Let's see, Old Ebonheart. Perfect.
You bring good fortune with you.
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure, really.
And then...
First the vision.
Let's see. Who was it? Because it wasn't the guild leader, the guild head who wanted it. Manuel. Is it someone here? No, I think they were like in the basement, no?
Please, go ahead. I'm all ears.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Say, I find you most interesting right now. Please, go ahead.
Here you go, I got your cursed gems. Do you have any gems? Give him a cursed aquamarine. Give him a cursed peridot. Give him a less useful cursed emerald. Give him a less useful cursed diamond. Do not give him any gems. Wait, why are some of these less useful? Okay, fuck it, I'll give you the useful ones. Cursed aquamarine. Yes, this gem was cursed. Do you have any more? How about this one? This gem was cursed. Do you have any more? Alright, I'll give you the less useful ones. Yes, I suppose I can examine more of these. Do you have any others? There you go. Another one of the same kind. Excellent. Thank you, Lyle Schnub. Okay, another one. That was all for now. You'll be waiting for more. Shit. You only need 2 more. Wow. Well, in that case, let me just go right ahead and eat all of the extra gems that I have. I mean, we don't need these now. That means that these are all ones that are in the clear. Okay. Must be wild to be this guy. just start eating thousands of gold worth of gems. Like, okay, those were all the cursed ones I got. The rest of these, that's my fucking dinner. I'm just gonna start crunching on these things. Just a million effects start popping off on my body. Incredible. Exploding into magical effects. Okay, Horn Lily Bulb. Quama Meat. Alright. Oh, and a citrine. Did the paralysis go through? Some encumbrance did. Okay, well, I'll wait here for an hour. Cleared all up. That's wild. I still don't have enough. You really need a bunch. Okay, well, surely in our incredible and magnificent journey eastward, we will get more than enough, right? Okay, so let's try and get out of here. Can I take... I forget. Can I take one of these ships to Darvonis? It's been a hot minute since we were out this way. Okay. I don't even remember which ship is the one that actually... Oh, it's over here, right? Yeah, it's you, isn't it? Ada the Spear. Darvonis. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, and then we want to go eastward. Alright. Almalexia. Marilag. Amar, Akamora. Is dangerously close to Marilago. What the fuck? You don't want to go there. They're doing bad stuff in that place. Alright, let's head over there. Oh shit. Maybe I need to go northward, actually. Ah, here we are. I think. Is this a fucking road? Yeah, okay. Akamora. Is Akamora the next big town that I want to walk over to? Yeah. Okay. Sure, and we'll hit up... we have to walk over to Necrom, too. We have to do that. What a fucking treat, you know? What a fucking treat. I love to have a fucking road trip, walking along a road. You know? This is a real fantasy. It's not just the city is walkable, everything is. Right? This is, right, average fantastical land getaway for your average American. Holy shit. I can just walk somewhere without worrying about, like, having to cross a fucking interstate or some shit and getting my shit ran over. Oh, what the fuck. Okay, who is this? Let's talk to this stranger. Oh there. Dartham Goril.
Greetings, friend. Are you traveling these roads as well?
I sure am. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at persuasion. What's your background?
Dartham Goril is the name. I'm a wanderer. I make camp where I will and feed off the land. It's a fine life and one that has brought me much pleasure.
I hear that. Tell me a rumor?
I do not concern myself greatly with the affairs of the wider world.
About some advice.
If you're wandering into unknown territory, try slowing to a walking pace. You'll be more alert to the dangers you might face, and will be fresh and ready to face them should they arise.
Little secret?
I have many secrets, friend. Such is the blessing of a long and healthy life. However, I am sure that none of them will interest you.
How about your trade?
I follow no trade, Lyle Schnub. I wander the countryside of Morrowind, living off the land.
Okay, that's a cool way to be. So what's over this way? Dun Akafel, Ruins, Akamora, Main Road, Amar, Marag, Tel Muthada, and Helnim. I want to go to Akamora. We went to, like I said, we went to Akamora briefly. I think it was for the Mages Guild. Was it? It was the one that had like the big mountain surrounded by like a river or stream. Not a huge mountain or whatever. Ooh, look at this. Biome not too dissimilar from the Grazelands. Just more tree-y. I assume that this is, right, if we think about it, this is kind of the biome that would exist here. You know, sort of along the Azura's coast region, except a little bit more westward. Except it's been, you know, terraformed a bit by the water and notably volcanic activity. This is how it would normally look. Oh, cool. Okay. Sure. Do a quick save. Oh, wow. What a perfect day for walking around, too. Let's get our speedy boots on, just as well. Oh, look at all this. Yeah, there's something to be said for these big areas where you can see very far and wide. Oh, look, there's a person there. Should we chat with them? Maybe they'll try and kill me. Oh, there. Are you friendly? Wait, this is not a person at all. This is wickweed. That's not a person. That's wickweed. All right, I'm gonna eat it. There we are. Sure. Good, good, good. Okay. Cool. Keep our speed up, I think. Stoneflower. Neat. Ooh, we're getting kind of West Gash region. The in-between. Oh, hell yeah. Look, this is why we go on land. This is why we go on foot. The in-between. Okay. What a fun little play on words. Looks like some Great House Indoril territory. Okay, let's do a quick save just in case this is some fucking wild... right? I don't know, with a name like that, who knows what this really is. Okay, it seems like it is a normal inn. I don't know. I don't know. I was expecting to go inside. I just, like, enter another fucking world.
How
Okay.
can I help you, friend?
Hello there, Hosgub Grohazor.
Well, hello, Dark Elf. I sure am glad to meet a new face in the in-between. With all those boring regulars, it can get pretty dull in here.
The in-between?
I'll tell you, I've never seen any of these adventurers actually go out and do something. All they do is sit here and talk about their great make-up adventures. And when an orc tells a true story, they guffaw. I am certainly not the greatest of warriors and no hero of song, but even I have probably witnessed more in my life than these pompous dastards. They're not the one to laugh. Well, at Hosgub's joke, I'll have the final laugh.
What's your joke, Hosgub?
Two of them laughed the most. That stuck-up Redguard downstairs and that half-witted Nord up there. This time the joke will be on them. I have an idea. Will you help me carry it out?
Sure, why not? Yeah. I don't even know these people, but sure, I fucking hate them. I hate them as much as you do. Why not?
That's great. You see, Ifeed boasts he's a great vampire hunter, but in fact, I think he is a big fake. I've never seen him do anything other than tell his stupid stories. I doubt he ever saw a real vampire in his life. I have, at least. Tried to hunt down some bandits around here, but he hasn't ever left the inn as far as I can tell. What a thrilling adventurer's life. That is where we step in. I want you to convince him that Kay is in fact a vampire in hiding. Imagine that! Ifid will look so dumb when he makes an idiot of himself in front of everyone. It'll be hilarious.
Okay, how should I do that? Kay is a vampire?
I don't know. I'm an orc, not some honey-mouthed imperial. Think of something. It shouldn't be too hard to convince him unless you're a bad liar, or make it look like you have evidence. That should be enough. And try to relax him a bit. That is sure to help.
Okay, what's your background?
Name's Hosgub Grohazor, associate in the Fighters Guild. Well, I used to be one. Now they've probably expelled me for dereliction of duty. Not that I care much.
Well, how about Ifid?
Ah, the great vampire hunter. Look, I'm not saying he never killed any vampires, but... I mean, did you even hear his stories? I can't believe anybody here takes him seriously.
How about Hosgub's joke?
Did you convince him yet, Lyle? I'm really looking forward to seeing Ifid make a fool of himself.
No, not yet.
Well, hurry up then, will you? I'm eager to have a good laugh.
And Kay?
Mr. Shiny Arm. Not one day goes by that he doesn't mention his legendary skills. I don't know if that kind of talk works with the women, but I know I sure am not impressed.
Okay. Baro Kelaius. Yes, I'm Baro Kelaius. What do you want? Who the heck are you? I'm currently on an extended vacation. An extended vacation? Yes, to get away from annoying people that keep asking questions. But even here, they can still get to me, it seems. Okay, you fucking asshole. Tell me more about the extended vacation now that I've persuaded you a bit. Yes, well, I've run into a bit of a situation. A couple weeks ago, I was hired by a noblewoman in Akamora, who needed a guard for her manor for 1 week. I was to guard the lower level of the manor, while another mercenary, Barilus Trajanus, was to guard the upper level. I didn't trust Barilus from the start. Why didn't you trust him? He might be the bad guy, okay? May I continue? Yes, please do. Everything was going fine for the first 3 days, but on the 4th day things went badly. You see, the nobles in Akamora don't all like each other. A couple of them had their own egg mines, and they like to do battle with their competitors. So I was patrolling the lower entrance, when the door opened, and a bunch of Dunmer with spears and axes came storming in. They stood still, and one of them, the leader I guess, came forward. Continue. How did you know he was the leader? Can we continue this another time? I have other business to attend to. How did you know he was the leader? He looked like the leader. He was the one that walked forward, he had the best gear, and the others stepped away from him. For him. I can't say for sure he was their absolute leader, but that doesn't matter. Now, do you think I can go on? Okay, yeah, go on. For all I knew, this leader could have been a sorcerer, about to send a spell flying my way. So I drew my battle axe and decapitated him. The rest of the bunch was shocked for a moment, so I took the opportunity to do a fancy swing with my axe. That took down a couple more. By then, Barilus had come from upstairs with his bow and arrow. He knocked an arrow and then accidentally shot me in the leg. Not even a blind high elf would have done that by accident. Continue. So Barilus really is the bad guy. Let's say that. I haven't come to that part yet. Now, do you want me to spoil it for you, or is it safe for me to go on without interruptions? I like that we can right after he said that he hates being asked a bunch of questions, we can keep interrupting him with questions or statements. Sorry, go on. I won't interrupt you anymore. God, I hope I can interrupt him again. Oh, fuck yeah, I can. In any case, the remaining Dunmer were obviously intimidated by my superior skill, and they retreated. I ran after them and managed to throw my axe into one of those cowards, but then I halted due to the loss of blood from my leg wound. Once back at the manor, Barilus apologized for the misfire. I said I was sorry as well and ignored him. I should have known better. We proceeded to return to our patrol, but we were attacked again before much time had transpired. Continue. Yes, you should have known better. Barilus is a bad person. I've been saying that all along. I gotta get going now. Tell me the rest another time, okay? Barilus is a bad person. Look, don't interrupt me. Even though I am a mercenary, I still think you're being a rude fool. Now I'm going to give you one last chance. If you interrupt me about that Barilus guy one more time, you won't like it. Do you want to take the chance? Okay, I'm sorry, go on. Hey, take it easy. This was the first time I interrupted you, but go on. I don't want to take the chances. I don't want to take chances. I'm done here. Hey, take it easy. This is the first time I interrupted you, but go on. More Dunmer entered at night. I managed to send them away again. This time Barilus did shoot in the right direction, but he failed to actually kill anyone. This guy was clearly the worst archer I'd ever seen, on purposefully missing his targets. I decided to take a look at what he was actually doing upstairs in the manor. When I looked upstairs, he was gone. Everything upstairs seemed to have been left alone, but then I smelled the oil. Oil? What if it were to be ignited? What kind of oil was it actually? Thanks for pointing out that oil can catch fire. It was some kind of insect oil. I don't know. The stuff those dark elves use. It doesn't matter. The point is, there was oil. Okay, go on. Too late, said Barilus, standing behind me with a torch. When he lowered the torch, I ran for the window. I thought he was going to attack me. I ran for the window and jumped through, looking behind me as I fell to the ground. There was no fire, which was confusing. Then I saw Barilus look out the window, with an arrow readied. This time he was shooting to kill. The arrow went straight for my neck. but I used my battle axe to protect myself. I'm not the type to run away from some feeble archer, so I stood up and ran back into the manor, only to be met by... Continue. I knew Barilus was the bad guy. This proves it. Too bad. I'll have to miss the most exciting part, but I must leave. I knew it. Barilus was the bad guy. Yes, Barilus was the bad guy. Goodbye. Oh, that's it? That's all we can do? Okay, extended vacation. Okay. Hang on, can I get him to like me even more? Okay. Alright, a little bit of a situation. Why didn't you trust him? Okay. Yes, please do. Okay. This is stupid. Do you think he'll keep going if he likes me more? Okay, he fucking hates it every time. Alright, okay. Alright. Met by 4 spear points pointing toward my chest. Barilus came downstairs and explained his plan, but I was too angry to listen. The point was that he worked for a rival noble, that they would loot the manor, and that everything was going to be blamed on me. I pushed the spears out of the way, got a few dents in my cuirass in the process, and grabbed Barilus. I threw him out the door. He stood up to run, and I gave chase immediately. We were on a bridge above the water when I tackled him. Must have fallen into the water then. Hopefully there weren't any rocks. Yes, I fell into the water. Can't you just wait for me to tell you that myself? Sorry. Tell it to me yourself. We both fell into the water below. I threw Barilus against the cliff, then sliced into his back with the edge of my battle axe. After that, I ran. I don't know what has happened in Akamora since then, but I'm not going to take the risk of going back to see for myself. For all I know, that noble succeeded with his plan, and I've been framed for all that has happened. I plan to stay here for the time being. Well, I do hope things work out for you. So then what happened? Well, that clears things up for me. Now I'm going to have to kill you. What? Wait. Why would I kill him? What? Okay. All right, then. According to my orders, I'm going to have to assassinate you now. What? Am I working for Barilus? I had to kill this guy the whole time? What? All right, so then what happened? Nothing happened. The story is done now. What the fuck? I have to kill this man? A taste of home? I don't have to kill this guy, do I? Do I have to kill this fucking guy? I don't have to kill this guy. Did someone actually want me to kill this guy? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna kill this guy. You know what? I don't think I have to kill this guy, but I don't know. The option's there. Maybe I should kill him. Right? Maybe I should fucking kill him. How about, what do you think of iFeed real quick? That obsessed Nord needs to get a life. Everything he does is focused on those damn vampires. He talks about vampires, he reads about vampires, he collects the remnants of vampires. His job is to hunt down vampires. And I bet he probably dreams about vampires as well. As far as I'm concerned, he is a vampire. Maybe he is one, for real. What do you think about Hosgub's joke? Hosgub, of all people, planning a joke? I must say I'm already chuckling. What about Kay? That Redguard is a delusional fool. He thinks he's the best duelist in the world, but no one has a use for dueling skills in a real combat situation. A rumor? I have no rumors for a person like you. Advice? Don't go asking around for advice. The best advice you can ever get is from yourself. A secret? It doesn't hurt to be cautious. It does hurt to be stabbed in the back. Okay. Your trade? I'm a mercenary. I get hired to do jobs. Sometimes that means I need to guard things. Sometimes that means I need to escort people. And sometimes it means I need to do stuff I can't talk about. How about this inn? This is one of my favorite places to go when I'm on extended vacation. Alright, let's kill this guy. Let's fucking kill him. Okay. Well, that clears things up for me. Now I'm going to have to kill you. You serious? You've come to hear me out and then to kill me. I think you're just being a funny man. No, I'm serious. I had my reasons for doing what I did. Now I'm going to finish it. What? What the fuck? You got me, Baro. Just keeping you sharp. Wait, I can just be like, just kidding? Okay. Just as I thought, Lyle. You've got a courageous sense of humor. I'll give you that. Tell me more about yourself. Yeah, that's me. I'm Baro Kelaius. I'm gonna fucking kill him. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Come on. I don't know why I'm gonna kill him, but I'm gonna do it. Well, then that clears things up. I'm gonna kill you. Nope, I'm serious. I had my reasons for doing what I did. Now I'm going to finish it. Well, I hope you like battle axe for breakfast, because that's what you're getting. Haha! Alright, well, I killed him. The Axeman is this book. Of course. Of course he's got the Axeman. He's got an adamantium battle axe. Alright, well, I killed him.
Watch your step.
What'd you think of that? I killed that guy over there. Baro? First time here. I'm Odania Ranius, the barmaid. I can offer you a wide selection of food and drinks, or you could just hang around and chat with the regulars. They've got some nice stories. And we have beds, of course, if you need some rest on your way through the Vales. Tell me about yourself. Actually, let me persuade you first. Oh, perfect. Yes, that's my name. It's rather lovely, don't you think? Your background? My name is Odania Ranius, but my background couldn't be half as interesting as that of an accomplished bootlegger like yourself. Come on, buy a drink. I want to hear you talk. How about Baro, Kelaius? We're friends. Just friends. Okay, well, I killed him. How about Ifid? I think he's quite a frightening yet complex man. I'm still trying to figure him out. How about Kay? He is quite the man, don't you think? So strong and youthful. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't intend to swoon in public. Okay. How about a rumor? I've been hearing some exciting rumors about a certain dark elf. Were they about you? Oh. Okay, how about some advice? All girls like a big spender. Would you like something to drink? How about a secret? Flattery will get you everywhere. Keep talking. Your trade? I'm just the barmaid. I sell food and drinks and provide a little entertainment when needed. Oh my gosh, can I get my dick jacked? Holy shit. Wow, get ready. The fucking gray shaft of nonsense is making a comeback, baby. All right, how about the in-between? We sell drinks and rent beds. I'm sure you'll find a good reason to stay. Okay. How about Hosgub's joke? Did you mean Hosgub is a joke? Yes, a joke of a warrior. What the fuck? Dude, poor Hosgub. Okay. Well, it's not illegal to pick this door? Oh. Let's see. Really? A storeroom. Now, it is illegal to take all this stuff. Holy shit, there's stacks of 20. 20 scuttle. I mean, how could I say no to that? 10 egg. Okay, it's only 4. 10 more eggs. Oh yeah, give me that alchemy level. Is there anything with like a particularly outrageous stack? Another 20 scuttle. Perfect. Another 20 scuttle. That's what, we got 60 scuttle in total now? Great, okay. You got a little treasure back here. Neat. Okay.
Tell your friends
Ravis
about this place.
Baldurin.
Welcome, Dark Elf. Welcome to the In-Between. Home to the only safe beds around here. My name is Ravis Baldurin, and I am the innkeeper. If you're looking for a place to stay, this is it.
Okay, can I persuade you a bit? Sure can. Who is, what's up with the barmaid, Audania?
She is one of the best barmaids you could imagine. She can be quite persuasive and is usually a bit flirty towards the customers. A solid combination, as far as I'm concerned.
Your background?
I am Ravis Baldurin, the owner of the In-Between. I was born and raised in Akamora. As an adult, I worked a lot in the bazaar and in the inns. I always enjoyed seeing new people every day. A couple of years ago, I saved enough money and bought this inn from its former owner. I fixed the place up and hired a young barmaid. The result is what you see today, a bustling, popular tavern for weary travelers to rest their aching feet.
Cool. I can't believe I haven't played a game yet that called their inn the In-Between. I feel like that's such an obvious pull. I'm shocked that I haven't heard that yet. That's new to me. How about Baro?
He is a good man and an honest friend. He comes to my inn every now and then.
Well, he won't be coming by anymore. He's dead now. How about Ifid?
He visits here every once in a while. He has lots to say. He has lots of, let me say, fascinating stories about vampires.
How about Kay?
He is one of the regulars. He has his reasons for staying here.
How about a rumor?
Adventurers coming from the north have told me that conflict is brewing between the Imperials and the Telvanni. I do hope it will be resolved without too much violence.
How about some advice?
If you plan to explore the ruins of Dun Akafel, please do prepare yourself. It can never hurt to carry an extra weapon or a few more potions when traversing such a site.
A secret?
I assure you I have no secrets to tell at the present.
Your trade?
I'm the innkeeper. I rent the beds, I pay the servants, and I make sure the inn is well stocked and kept in good shape.
How about Ravis yourself?
How may I be of service?
In the inn?
I bought this place from the former owner, a friendly Imperial by the name of Otik. My inn is a popular place to stay for the adventurous types, particularly because of the proximity to the ruins of Dun Akafel, but mainly because of the inn's semi-famous sweet rolls. Besides that, we offer a wide selection of alcoholic beverages imported throughout Tamriel.
Tell me about Dun Akafel.
The ruins of Dun Akafel are slightly to the northeast of my inn. Simply walk over the hills to the north, and you won't miss it. They draw many adventurers to this inn. Sadly, not all of them return after visiting the ruins.
Is it the Dwemer ruins? Dun Akafel? I feel like Dun is very World of Warcraft dwarf coded. Right? I think of Dun Moreau, you know? Or Dun Morag. Let's see, over here. I'll give this a quick pick. Is this one of the bedrooms you could rent? Seems that way. Sure. Nah, okay.
Got my ear, let's hear it.
Okay, over here. Nothing too wild down this way. Alright. And over here, I can pick into this. Nobody inside. Okay.
Do you
Hey,
have
Kay.
something to say, Dumner?
Let's see if I can't persuade you. Ooh, hundo out of a hundo. I'm not really interested in speaking with you, Dark Elf. A duelist of my caliber has better things to do. About your background? I'm Kay, a duelist. I come from abroad. What do you think of Aldania? She works for Ravis Balderin, a frivolous woman who is of no use to me. Her flirtations are nothing but irksome distractions. And Baro? You mean the oaf upstairs? He's little more than an unexceptional mercenary. His way of fighting lacks any taste or artistry. Ifid? That's the Nord that talks about vampires over and over again. Yourself? Perhaps you have heard of my legendary skills as a duelist. I've defeated many opponents throughout my career, some of them more interesting than others. The last two I graced with a duel were called Gerard and Centaurius. Neither of them was a worthy opponent. I hope to find greater challenges here in Morrowind. Gerard? I was strolling through a bazaar in the city of Rahad when we met. He was a cocky young man, one of the local forebears, and he had heard of my presence in the city. Apparently he thought he could gain prestige by crossing swords with me, and he came out into the bazaar with his blade drawn, eager for a duel. At first I was against facing such an unworthy opponent and in the middle of an open market of all places. My foe, however, was persistent, and I found myself with little choice. As a crowd formed around us, I unsheathed my blade. With a quick look, I was able to judge my adversary's style. His stance was sloppy at best, and his grip weak. He was also hasty, attacking immediately and swinging his blade impatiently like an amateur. I parried his blows with ease, and scored an early hit on his shoulder. As I recall, it was an upward angled stab, grievous enough that it should have ended the match. Gerard, however, while being decidedly lacking in other regards, did possess persistence. He continued his attacks, though they were hindered by his anger and pain. By now I was more than a little bored, and worried of drawing the attention of the city guards. My next hit was a quick thrust to Gerard's right eye. With Gerard on the ground, clutching at his face, I decided it was best to leave Rahad. Unfortunately, my troubles with Gerard did not end there. One of his friends was the son of an influential nobleman, and I soon heard rumors that they were planning on contacting the Dark Brotherhood to deal with me. Knowing that assassins aren't the type for gentlemanly duels, I fled to Morrowind, home of the Dark Brotherhood's mortal enemies, the Morag Tong. Fair enough. How about Centaurius? Following my encounter with Gerard, I traveled over the border into Cyrodiil. One night I found myself at a rundown inn in the rough backwoods of Colovia. One of its guests was a Colovian knight wearing a mixture of leather and iron armor. The brute was large enough to be a Nord, and he certainly was drinking enough to make one of the Northmen proud. The man, from what I overheard of his crude conversation, was named Centaurius. In the thug's drunken stupor, he began to make bold proclamations of his skills. He claimed that there wasn't a man among any of us who could best him in combat. Hearing him talk so began to get on my nerves, and I replied with a sharp retort that I thought would silence his boasting. Unfortunately, Centaurius turned out to be sensitive to insults. The bulky Imperial lunged at me, throwing everything between us aside. He drew the iron claymore strapped to his back, declaring that I'd better be as talented with the blade as I was with my wit. Wanting to cut the oaf's ego down to a more appropriate level, I gladly drew my own weapon. Centaurius laughed upon seeing my elegant dueling saber and swung his claymore downward. I'll admit that the Imperial had a lot of strength. His blows split the chair I'd been sitting on in half. Unfortunately for him, he was lacking in speed and maneuverability. I easily sidestepped to his side and disarmed him with a stab to his sword hand. Centaurius collapsed to the ground, hollering in pain. By now the entire tavern was in an uproar, and I had once again decided it best to take leave before things got out of hand. How about latest rumors? I only listen to the interesting rumors. The interesting rumors are about me. How about Ravis? He's a man who can appreciate my talents as a duelist. It's a shame he lets so much common riffraff stay at his inn. And tell me more about the inn. I have my reasons for staying here, and no, I'm not going to tell you them. Yeah, he did just tell me them. Right? Well, I guess for being in Morrowind, but not for necessarily staying here. Okay. Let's see if we can't get the Ifid dude to attack him.
Look around.
Okay.
Greetings. May fortune be with you.
You the only person up here?
I'm
Ifid
your
the Seeker. Ugh, creepy. Two of them right next to each other? Alright. Hello, Ifid. If you have any problems with vampires, Lyle, speak to me, Ifid. Let me persuade you up a bit. What do you think of Adania, the barmaid? She is not a vampire. Right, your background? I'm Ifid the Seeker. I hail from Skyrim, but I have come to Morrowind to seek and slay vampires and other such foul undead. What do you think of Baro? The Imperial mercenary. He is not a vampire, and does not concern me. What do you think of Dun Akafel, nearby? The ruins are nearby. I believe it is a place where vampires would come together. I've yet to find proof. Okay, what about yourself? Yes, I'm Ifid. What do you think of Kay? He is the Red Guard with the armored left arm, but he is not a vampire. How can you be so sure? Say nothing. I will say nothing. For a moment, you looked like you were going to say something. Oh, no, wait, he says that. For a moment, you looked like you were going to say something. Never mind. All right. We'll tell him about that afterward. How about a rumor? Rumors? Why? Have you any rumors of vampires? All right. How about some advice? Do not show mercy to the foul and unworthy. Every time a vampire pleads for mercy, I do. I show the beast the mercy it deserves. Death. All right. How about the secret? There are two reasons why I'm skilled at destroying vampires. One is experience. The other is my equipment. I always carry a crossbow, a short sword, and a few enchanted tools on me. With my crossbow, I can vanquish most lesser vampires and damage the stronger ones. With my short sword, I can swiftly dispatch any vampire that gets too close. My enchanted tools usually include scrolls of fire damage and thrown weapons enchanted specifically to combat vampires. Okay, how about mead? Yes, I do like mead. In fact, I don't think I know any Nords that don't. At least not any true Nords. Why are you asking? Are you saying that you want to buy me a drink? Of course, cheers. If you actually had any mead, very funny, Lyle. Alright, how about a trade? Or your trade? What is your trade? What I do is more a purpose than a trade. I study and destroy the unholy beings of this world, with my specialty being the vampire. I have successfully vanquished many vampires in my life, most memorably Hrothgarad, Udanjira, and Quarwanon. Sorry. Most alchemists and the occasional sorcerer are interested in buying the remnants of vampires. I earn most of my wealth in this way. Who was Quarwanon? Not so long ago, I was traversing the lands north of here, an area to the west of Alt Bosara, specifically. I'd heard faint rumors of disappearance occurring in this area at night, so I arrived hoping there was a vampire responsible. There was. By the first day of searching, I'd already found a Dunmer trader with the puncture marks in his neck. He looked scared. Continue. Okay, then, so what did you do? Wait, I've lost interest. Continue. At night, I set up camp in the wilderness. I placed a few lit huts Why? in the surrounding area to bait the vampire. The vampire was picky. None of the hearts were taken when I checked in the morning, and I knew the vampire couldn't possibly have come near my tent. I ate some of my bread and soaked it in a bottle of Flynn. I shouldn't have added the Flynn. I was paralyzed a minute later. The paralysis lasted until night. Then the vampire responsible arrived, and poured a potion down my throat. What the fuck? You used the lit hearts as bait? Only a cruel fiend would be capable of that. Caesar's story. Wait, why a lit heart? Why would that be cruel and fiendish? Maybe guar hearts. I kill elits by the dozen. Continue. I could move again, so I took a good look at the vampire. The beast was a pale high elf, coated in a black robe and armed with a seemingly wooden staff. I concluded the vampire must be magically inclined. That meant I'd probably win in physical combat. I jumped up and swiftly sent my fist flying towards the beast's face. Sorry. But the beast was swifter. It grabbed my fist and must have cast a draining spell. I lost all my strength and collapsed. This is the second time in this he's been completely debilitated. Continue. Very typical. As if every high elf with a robe and a staff is magically inclined. I know of only one stereotype that is universally true. All Nords are bad storytellers. Oh, I think Nords are great storytellers. But maybe they're all just stories. Alright, continue. The vampire then placed 2 shackles on my wrists and calmly walked forward. I felt inclined to follow. We walked on into the darkness and reached a cave. The place was exceptionally cold, even for a cave. The vampire told me to sit. The beast had full control over my body. So I sat down. There was a piece of wood behind me on the floor. Then the vampire began to talk. So a vampire talked to you? You think you're so special, huh? Why don't you just stop talking to me and start talking to yourself? What the fuck? Why are we so extra mean to this guy? Continue. My name is Karwanon, it said. And you're a special man. You're a special man because I make you special. The last name you'll ever hear will be Karwanon. That makes you special. That makes you unique. The speech-delivering vampires are the worst. I thought to myself. No, the last option was completely wrong. Nords are fucking great storytellers. I knew that there was a chance for me to survive, but I needed to know something first. Any high elf that proclaims you are special is a fool. You're not that special. If you were special, I'd want to listen to you. Jesus. Continue. I replied, "Thank you, Karwanon. Thank you for making me special. A masterful being like yourself is a rare thing to come upon. Were you by any chance born under the sign of the Lord?" Karwanon, I can... Why he talks with a colon in his speech. Karwanon, I can understand why you would think such a thing, Nord, but no. I was born under the sign of the apprentice. Paradoxically. You see, I'm an example of transcendence to such limits bestowed upon birth, and I knew enough. Continue. Guess what? I know enough as well. I know I'm done listening to you. Continue. I took the piece of wood lying on the floor and situated it between my wrists. I then started to slowly rub my shackles against the wood, creating friction. The vampire, meanwhile, continued on with its speech. The beast was really fascinated with itself. I simply nodded my head every once in a while and mumbled things like, "Fascinating, please tell me more." Or, "You intrigue me, by all means, please continue." And the beast just proceeded with its monologue. Continue. "Fascinating, please tell me more." That means you shouldn't. I was pretending to want to hear the rest of your story. You think you can comprehend that? Why are we so mean? Alright, continue. We continued like this for nearly an hour, when the vampire concluded. And thus, one can assume that my superiority is a relative term, and that all that truly matters is a combination of wisdom and righteous philosophy. My shackles had started to burn into my flesh, and the piece of wood was near to combustion. Then the vampire remarked that it was getting pretty hot, even though the sun could not have risen yet. The beast stared into my eyes. Then it panicked. I would panic as well if I stared into your eyes. Continue. The piece of wood had finally combusted, and I leapt forward and shoved the burning wood into the vampire's right eye, into its right eye. This is the second dude in here who's been like, I shoved something. I went directly for his right eye. The vampire was beyond enraged and screamed its name over and over. It's like a Pokemon. It screamed its name over and over. Before the beast fell to the ground, I shouted, "Don't be such a hothead." And I had a good laugh. He fucking rocks. Dude, he fucking rocks. I'm sorry, dude. Hosgub, I'm sorry. Shit, we're gonna help Hosgub. Hopefully he kills Kai or whatever his name fucking was. This guy rocks. Okay. Then I recognized the pain coming from my wrists. I ran into the depths of the cavern, and luckily I found some water. By the time I'd returned, Karwanon had been reduced to ashes. You're a brutal maniac, and even worse, your one-liners are not funny. Now continue. In actuality, the beast's name wasn't Karwanon. The vampire actually had a great name, but I'm not the kind to acknowledge that. What? It had a great name? Okay, that was an interesting story. You're also not the kind to acknowledge your own stupidity. That was an interesting story. Thank you. Okay, what do you think of Ravis? He is a kind man. He has listened to all my vampire stories. What do you think of the inn? This is the perfect place for a vampire hunter like me. It is difficult to reach for my enemies. It's still close enough for me to perform my trade. Okay, tell me of another vampire, Adunjira. Oh god, is it gonna be another huge story? Fuck it, I'll listen to it, fuck it. She was the most monstrous vampires, one of the most monstrous vampires I ever destroyed. My journey started when one day I came to this farming village of Oss, which lies to the northeast on Vardenfell. Right, we've been there. The locals told me quite a few people had gone missing the last couple of months, with no reason to suspect there was a vampire involved. I left. A week later, I had set up a camp in the Grazelands, when one of the locals I saw the other day came running towards me. It was night, but I quickly deduced this local hadn't come to talk. Not right now. Continue. I grabbed one of my enchanted throne stars and threw it at the local, who combusted within seconds. I knew enough. I knew enough. He combusted within seconds, and I knew enough. I returned to the village and honorably swore to slay the vampire involved. At first, I asked the locals about the victims and where they were before they disappeared. Apparently, the vampire consistently struck from the north, so I prepared myself to wait an entire day on the northern side of the vampire for the vampire to arrive. There's even more? Sorry, not today. Continue. I mean, it's saying a lot because there actually is like a vampire nest out there by Voss in the Grazelands, right? They have that, the shadow bow, was it? It's a pretty decent high-end bow. I think it even classifies as like an artifact or whatever, right? They're out there. Anyway, eventually it did, but it was fast. It was able to snatch a local before I arrived. Then it ran to the north, and I ran after it. We ran past a Daedric ruin and reached the sea. The vampire could walk on water, but so could I. We kept running until we reached a medium-sized island. That's when the vampire ran into a cave and magically locked the door. Before it disappeared, I noticed something. It had a tail. Okay. This will just go on and on, won't it? Not happening. Continue. The sun rose quickly after that, and I took a few hours to rest. When I woke up, I started to think up a plan. 5 minutes later, I was done. I put down all my unnecessary weaponry and started to bash myself against the locked door. For a moment, I thought to myself, hey, wouldn't it be a lot easier just to wait for the vampire to come out by itself, weakened by starvation? But that's not the way I operate. so I proceeded to slam myself against the door until the lock broke. Stop, please. Continue. I walked into the cave and kept walking. I knew I'd find the vampire eventually. Then I walked by a caged area. There was a Khajiit inside. It hissed at me to open the door for it. That was suspicious, so I cast a light spell in its direction. The Khajiit was already out of its cage, running at me with its sharp claws readied. The vampire was both quick and agile, and I had difficulty landing a blow, but I had a plan. Guess what? I don't care anymore. Continue. I'd started to fight even more aggressively. The Khajiit did what I wanted and matched my aggression. She shouted a name. I love that. the vampires all scream their names at him. God, I hope the third one does the same. And then he's like, what a great name. She shouted her name, Udanjira, out loud and disarmed me. She then struck a furious blow to my face with a claw. She left me a scar you can still see today. Oh yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, it's right around there, right around your face. I pretended to fall to the ground in shock. The vampire got real close, and I grabbed its claws and broke them both. You broke its claws! She fell to the floor. Udanjira was visibly hurt and tried to stand up again. She was drenched in sweat. If I wanted to hear about vampires, I would have read a book or gone out and hunt some down. It would be less grueling than listening to your stories. No, please continue. Her tail was drenched in sweat as well. That's so foul. I feel like, you know, like a lot of furred animals, I feel like Khajiit shouldn't sweat like human beings do, you know? Like, isn't that the deal? Or is that just like domesticated furred animals, right? Like dogs and cats, they don't sweat in the same way that like humans do. I would assume that Khajiit also don't be sweating. Anyway, her tail was drenched in sweat as well. That was what I needed. That was what you needed? I love the way that this is written. The prose is so fucking stupid in a good way. Right, it's perfect. I grabbed my hidden blade as shock and thrust it into her tail, pinning it to the ground. The shock shot through her entire body, and Udanjira was paralyzed. I asked the beast how it wanted to be vanquished. The choice was through sea or through sun. I couldn't understand what the beast murmured, but it sounded like more like the sea than the sun. Wait, didn't you? I see, you've been narrating this from the perspective of the vampire all the time. Okay, continue. I took the vampire outside. It was still dark. I tied a few rocks to the vampire's tail and took it to the shore. I gave it a nice little ring of shock on self. Then I threw... He called it shock on self. Then I threw the beast into the water and plunged it into the depths. It either drowned or got killed by the shock. I don't really care. The beast scarred me, and it got what it deserved. Okay. How about the third vampire, Hrothgarad? It all happened many years ago, during my days as a hunter. One day, while we were out hunting, we discovered a dead bear lying in the snow, with blood dripping from 2 holes in its neck. None of us knew what a vampire was back then, so we figured it must have been a wolf, and we continued on with hunting. When night fell, we returned to the village to a surprise. One of the children, Hugad, was missing. We found him the next day a few miles from the village, with blood dripping from his neck. He was dead. Continue. You bore me. Continue. We brought him back to the village and buried him. We all vowed to avenge his death by finding and slaying the wolf responsible. The next day, we set out in different directions to find the wolf. I headed out to the north. I searched for hours, but found no wolf, so I returned to the village. It was past midnight when I arrived. I was the only hunter that had returned. I knew then that it was no wolf we were dealing with. The next day I searched for the other hunters. I found none. Continue. When back in the village, I felt a little ill. I went to my cabin to go rest. I locked my door and fell asleep. To this day, I don't know why, but I woke up only a few hours later, completely paralyzed. And then it started. While paralyzed, this is the other vampire, he was also paralyzed a few times. He collapsed and he got paralyzed. While paralyzed in the night, I heard a scream coming from one of the women. The Greyry. I knew it was the same beast responsible for the other murders. I also knew Greyry would die, and that there was nothing I could do. I'll hear you out some other time. Continue. After the beast had struck, the villagers came to me and knocked on my door. I couldn't move my lips. I tried to make a sound, but they couldn't hear me, and the door was locked. My paralysis lasted another 6 days. 6 days of a magical paralysis. He must have been like atrophied so badly. He was like starving. Maybe he didn't digest, right? Maybe he was paralyzed in that way too, that he didn't need to worry, like his metabolism also slowed. He didn't have to worry about getting thirsty or hungry. I couldn't move my lips. I tried to make a sound, but they couldn't hear me. The door was locked. My paralysis lasted another 6 days. The beast had visited our village every night and killed another of our own each time. I was forced to hear it all. By the time I could move again, I was half dead. But I didn't have the time to eat or drink. I needed to exact revenge. You're so full of yourself. Continue. All the remaining villagers had left, but I needed to stay. I grabbed my axe, waiting till nightfall for the beast to arrive. It arrived an hour before midnight. I could feel it looking at me, just waiting for the opportunity to strike. I heard it move, and I walked in its direction. Then it leaped straight out of the darkness at me. For a split second, I saw a pale Nord with fangs. A second later, it had an axe in its face. The beast fell to the ground. Thinking it was dead, I walked away. I was hungry. I have something better to do. Okay, continue. Then I thought it was about to say its own name. I thought it was about to, like, while it was, right, like in a horror movie, you think the slasher killer got killed, they're lying on the floor and you walk away victorious, but then it gets back up, except because it's a story he's telling, it gets up and it says its name really loudly. It stands up and it's like, Roscarod, Roscarod, Roscarod. Then I heard the beast talk. It said, "Your pretty axe won't kill me. I'm a god. I'm gonna kill you eventually, just like I killed all those other weaklings." That made me angry. The beast. It made him angry. The beast threw away the axe and attempted to best me at hand-to-hand combat. I was stronger. I gave the beast what it deserved and punched out its fangs. I understood my axe wouldn't kill it, so I asked the beast what would. This is too much aggression for me. Continue. The beast wouldn't answer, so I punched it. Still no answer. I was starved and fatigued, but I wasn't going to give up. I figured if I kept punching it, the beast might eventually die or give up. So I kept punching him until the sun rose. Then hang on, wasn't it a Nord lady? Hold up, I thought it was a Nord lady. Okay. Oh no, we don't know. Okay, we don't know, yeah. Let's see. So I kept punching him until the sun rose. Then the beast's flesh began to heat up. I let it go and I watched how it burned to ashes. Before dying, the beast begged me to remember its name. I didn't. I called the beast Hrothgarod instead. Hrothgarod was the first vampire I destroyed. He didn't remember its name. But the other vampire, he gave a fake name, but it had a really great one. But you can't know it. Okay, how about some Morrowind lore? It's about slavery. What are the chances it would be about vampires? Okay. Let's go get this motherfucker some meat. Holy shit. Let's go down here. Hello?
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure, really.
Yeah, I'll take 3 of them. 2 for my friend and 1 for me. Thank you. Okay.
You choose to share your time with me. You humble me.
Okay. If you have any problems with vampires, Lyle, speak to me, Ifid. Okay, well, how about actually say nothing? Let's see. Mead. Cheers. Ah, sweet, sweet mead. It's been some time since I had some. The job of a vampire hunter rarely allows such occasions. Thank you, Lyle. You don't happen to have many more, do you? No, yeah, here you go. Have some more. Burp. Slides right down your throat, it does. I don't think there's anything I'd rather drink right now than the pure Skyrim mead. Except for more pure Skyrim mead. Get what I mean? Alright, yeah, here you go. More mead. Ha ha ha! I remember that time I killed Hrothgrog. No, wait. I'll get it right. Hrothgardo. There you go. Anyway, there was a celebrations afterward. And there was a lot of mead on the celebration. Hell of a bung it was. Hell of a bung. Hell of a binge it was. Ha ha! Cheers! Lyle Schnub, you have some more. Of course, here you go. But you don't have any more. If you get more mead and want to share it, you know where to find me. Alright, here, hang on. I'll go get some more. Shit, I didn't know you wanted this much. Okay. Thank you. Actually, is there more? Fuck it, I'm gonna buy... I'm buying a whole bunch. I got 10 of them this time. Okay. Here, have some more mead. You don't happen to have more of it, do you? I do, here you go. And then when I fought Kavuran, what a fight it was. Hang on, is that its true name? He finally gave me the true name? No, I think that's the name he told me. Good fight, you know. He didn't really paralyze me. I just tell people that. He parasiled me and talked to me. Just tell people. He didn't call me special, but he could have. He could have. I did burn him, though, with a torch. Birded him. Good times. I could really kill some vampires right now. You know where I could find vampires, Lyle? I thought you'd never ask. You see, that Redguard K, he is actually a vampire. K is a vampire? How dares he? He came here to mock me. Well, I'll show him. I'll show him a lot. I don't need your help. Come with me and you'll see how I kill him. Oh my god. Who'll win? Who'll win? I kind of hope it's Ifid because his story was so stupid and good. Right? Oh, Hosgub.
I've heard you talk to Ifid. There's no time to waste, Lyle. Head down and tell me what happened. I'll stay here. I don't want to look suspicious, but please make sure nothing goes wrong. I really don't want anybody getting wounded. At least not mortally.
Okay. Wait, he doesn't want them to die? Okay. Well, we'll try not to get him to kill the other guy. I'm kind of thinking he's a fucking vampire. Okay. I like that he's strutting down here with his big fucking bulbous Morrowind looking ass. Uh-oh. Here we go. Okay. Okay. How do I... Hang on, I've got my... how do I get them to not kill each other?
Am I good or what?
Okay. Hang on. Don't I have, like, restore health on touch? Yeah, great heal companion. Oh no! He died! He fucking died! So, here we are, Lyle. This idiot is beaten, and although I have every right to execute him right away, I ask you, what shall we do with him? Execute the fool. Spare his life. No, spare his life. I like the way you think. Let the fool live in shame. Let him know how much better you are than him. Let everybody laugh at him. I don't want to bloody my blade anymore, Lyle. The duel is over. There you go. I thought you were on my side, Lyle. Here, have some more mead. Later, perhaps. I got to recover from what happened, and it's not like the Nectar gods had no part in that. I don't even know if Kay got hit. I'll heal him too. Oh, he did get hit a bit.
Please speak, Dumna.
He got down to like half health. Holy shit. It was closer of a fight than I had thought. It's probably for the best that Kay won. Because I don't think Ifid would have let up. Okay, Kay? Thank you for the help with Ifid. I don't know what has gotten into him. But I don't think I don't know. But don't think I don't know you had something to do with this. Okay. Sure. Hasgob, you should have been there. They nearly killed each other.
Such good company. Welcome.
So, how did the joke go? Please tell me all about it. And he believed you. Oh, I wish I could have seen the look on his face. Stupid Nord. I have to hand it to you, Lyle. You really are a born prankster. Ha ha ha! Thank you. You really made my day. It's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. I really like the way you handled the situation. Here, take this magical trinket. I found it while clearing a bandit cave. Ha ha! And please come and find me if you think of some new pranks. I'd love to hear them.
Honey mouth amulet. How about Ifid?
Ha! I'm so glad he made a fool of himself. He deserved it.
The in-between?
I've heard that a lot of great adventurers stay at this inn, but so far not a single one dares to put an end to the raids from Sarana Seed. Some adventurers they are.
What is Sarana Seed? Is it a location or is that person's name? How about your joke?
Ha! I still chuckle when I remember it. You did a good job back then.
Thanks. Wait, rules? Oh, right, yeah, you're possibly still in the Fighters Guild. Okay. Wow. The in-between.
Probably.
Fucking Baro Kelaius.
Let's set aside our rivalries and talk, shall we?
What did you think of Hosgub's joke? I still haven't got my head around it. An embarrassment for sure. What do you know of Dun Akafel? Now, why would any bootlegger like yourself want to go to such a place when you could stay here? But if you really want to go, make sure to come back. I'd love to hear your tale. How about Ravis? He's a very benevolent man. He's also my boss. A little secret. You look like a real challenge. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. All right, Ravis?
Have a look around.
It's good to see you again, Lyle. How have you been?
What do you think of Ifid now?
I had a better of opinion until this whole story, but he is good at entertaining guests, and he's still welcome in this hall. It is not too difficult to get a Nord into a fight.
How about the joke?
These jokes tend to be funny unless you're the one to clean up the mess afterwards. And Hosgub is a fine orc, but he should not be teaching anyone here lessons.
How about Kay?
He's one of the regulars. He has his reasons for staying here, and I dare say taking part in Hosgub's stupid jokes isn't one of them.
All right, sure. Amazing. All right, sure, the in-between. Part of me is tempted to go check out these places nearby, right? That S-named place and maybe Dun Akafel? Maybe. All right, well, I think we'll call it here for now, right? And when next we return, we're probably going to poke around and look around a bit. Oh, Dun Akafel is up there. So what the hell are these ruins? Is that Saraseed or whatever it was? Holy shit. Yo, Dun Akafel is a whole big-ass place. What the fuck is Dun Akafel then? All right, well, we definitely need to investigate it now then. Amazing. Well, as per usual, if you'd like to stick around, we will be doing a little bit of reading. And this week, we're finally wrapping up the anthology, which we had started before. Right? Let's see. Varieties of Thought. A trilogy of books which I have not enjoyed. Right? But we'll see. Maybe it gets saved in volume 3. Because remember, we skipped last week on account of getting sucked up into doing some adventuring inside of the stronghold we discovered. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I am going to take a quick drink here before we get started. Apologies. All right, sorry about that. Let's see. Varieties of Thought, Volume 3. How long is this final volume? It's kind of like medium to long length. The last part of my book, Varieties of Thought, will concern itself with the history of philosophy in Tamriel, and what different philosophers have thought, said, and written. As with everything else, the Altmer were also the first philosophers. Mary-Aaron is considered the father of philosophy throughout Tamriel. When he lived exactly is unknown, but it must have been around the early heights of Altmer culture during the Middle Merithic Age. His teachings and speeches were written down and kept in the libraries of Somerset Island. I had the honor to personally read some of his writings. Mary-Aaron taught his disciples that the ultimate question is the question what the reason is for everything. He himself called this question often the great why. He also taught that the state of enlightenment would come through reason and thought, and not through belief. This was when he had the first conflicts with the priests. In a brilliant speech, he defended himself in front of a religious tribunal of the priests and came free. But he was more careful afterwards and taught his disciples only about nature and her laws. Some say that he visited several cities of the Dwemer and learned much from them concerning science. But while the Dwemer were more interested in the practical use of science, like mechanics, Mary-Aaron was more interested in theoretical science. Therefore, he concerned himself mostly with mathematics and its use in theoretical science. His disciples followed him, and the school which he founded became one of great thinkers. His most famous disciple, Ulquar, wrote a book about logic. Until today, it is still the basis of logical thinking. Some of his disciples concern themselves with natural sciences like medicine or physics, like Rumer, who wrote a book, named after the lake, who wrote a book about basic mechanics. Another, Larendil, wrote 4 books concerning mathematics, especially geometry. In his 4th book, he presented what should later be known as Larendil's theorem. The theorem concerned itself with the nature of right triangles. Okay, I see. The Mary-Arians, as they called themselves, existed long, and out of their ranks came many of the famous Altmer thinkers and scientists. Some centuries later, the Society of the Mary-Arians had become an accepted part of Altmer society. The Mary-Aranians. Maybe that's how you... Iranians? They were often teachers and had schools and libraries. Also, they were considered as wise and knowledgeable. Often they were quite arrogant. In this time, Arundel appeared. Arundel was the son of a merchant. But first, he didn't think about taking over his father's business. Instead, he first went to an academy of the Mary-Aranians. But soon, he had enough of them and went his own way. He opened a little store near the marketplace of his hometown Alinor on the Somerset Isle and began to talk to people. not normal gossip. He began to ask people questions. Questions which made people think about their lives and their beliefs. He accused the Meriaranians of being arrogant and not true to the words of their founder. Soon he had a group of disciples around him, and together they began to think about how people should live. Together they formed basic rules of ethics. His teachings about ethics were accepted by most, but then he rejected the common version of the creation myth and proclaimed his own ideas. He told that the beginning was not Anu and Padme, but that Anu and Padme were actually creations themselves. They were the two sides of the Great One. But in a major catastrophe in the beginning, the Great One was parted in two. So Anu and Padme came into being. Since the Great Parting, everything began to fall apart. The world of the mortals is only the latest step in the process. But so, Arundel taught, in the end of all, everything will again come together, and all will be once again the Great One, as it always should have been. He also taught that this is a cycle and that the Great One is parted and put together over and over again for all eternity, right? Like, we're getting into super deep, like, Morrowind metatextual lore with, like, kalpas, and, like, I imagine we're going to get into Godhead here, as we had figured this would eventually go the route of. Arundel was brought before a tribunal of the priests and the Meriaranians. There, he was accused of blasphemy against the gods, and should he be found guilty, the sentence would be his death. Arundel defended himself in proving logically that neither his belief nor the belief of the accepted religion could be proven. But so his argument, his belief, was more rational, since it does explain everything better than the common belief and therefore should be accepted and replace the old theory of creation. He was still sentenced to death, tough. Oh, okay, this one's an honest-to-God typo. He was still sentenced to death, though, and killed with a life-draining spell. Arundel's greatest student, Volinaro, continued the work of his master, and of him we know more, since we do possess his writings. Arendel's writings were all censored and burned. Volinaro wrote 3 books concerning ethics, but then moved on and wrote a book concerning the differences between the world of the mortals and the sphere of the gods, especially Oblivion of the Daedra. His greatest achievement was probably the book on how to rule and govern. In the book, he described a fictional realm, which he describes as perfect. There, all inhabitants are parted into different classes by their abilities. The highest class is the one of the wise, the class of the rulers. The next one, the class of the guardians. Then follow the classes of the merchants, craftsmen, farmers. This perfect realm does no longer have any bureaucrats. Everything is controlled by the wise. This seems fucked up. Right? What the fuck are we talking about? Is this real? Why does Volinaro sound real? That does sound real. I don't remember if I've read their writings, though. I feel like maybe I have. But this part about the wise and these various different classes and all of that, that is not a perfect world, right? Right, in which classes, like societal classes still exist, is the perfect world. What are you fucking talking about? That's not perfection at all, right? And everything is controlled by the wise? Are you kidding? There better be another part of this where it was like, and actually I think Volinaro is full of shit, right? This is incredibly flawed. All right. Volinaro also had students, and he built a great academy in Alinor. Volinaro's most famous student was Imar, or Imer, the first female philosopher. She concerned herself with earthly matters than Volinaro had. It was also she who took up again the idea of the Great One, which Elendil had invented, but she expanded it and called it the Great Reason. For her, it was the answer to Meriarin's question of the Great Why. In her book on the cycles of existence, she presented her theory that everything moves in huge cycles, parting, melting together, creating, and destroying. Everything seeks balance and tries to go together again. But by the opposite force of unbalance, it is torn apart again. Those were the three great Altmer philosophers of the Merithic era. We move now on to the other philosophers of this era. The Dwemer had several philosophers, which aren't widely known. They mostly described our world and the universe as something mechanical and mathematical, something to be understood. Also, the gods themselves were part of this great machine, as they called it. But one of them is worth mentioning. He is the only one we know more about, and he is the only one which actually had some influence on our world. His name was Barik Nazalef, and we know of him through his books. Some also think that Barik had a great influence on Kagranak, a theory I myself believe. Barik Nazalef was very typical for the Dwemer culture, but he actually went a step further and led the Dwemer on the way which would finally lead to their disappearance. We know that Barik was a normal Dwemer craftsman, living near Red Mountain. If he had remained a craftsman, we would probably not know anything about him. Barik soon came to the conclusion that he was not a good craftsman, so he began to write books. First, he wrote books about crafting, but soon his writing shifted more and more towards philosophy, and that is how he became known among the other Dwemer. His main philosophy was one of questioning the gods themselves. Through their study of Nirn and the Outer Realms, the Dwemer more and more began to think that the beings normally titled with gods had limits themselves. Barik was the first one to openly question the gods themselves. He asked if the gods were really gods, or just beings on a somewhat higher level of existence. The legends tell that the gods were created. So why do we call them gods? What is the definition of a god? His conclusion was that since the beings called gods were bound to certain limits, they couldn't be called gods. He redefined God as an absolutely perfect being with no limitations, which is the reason for itself, meaning a true God is neither created nor bound to anything else in order to exist. The reason for existence of a true God must be himself. By his definition, every being until this time titled God was not a god at all. So if those beings were not gods at all, perhaps mortal beings could reach this next level of existence, or perhaps they could create a being of this higher level of existence. Or perhaps they could create a being of this higher level of existence. God, I hate the way in which this book goes on to make its own definition of a god and then be like, well, nothing fits this definition of a god, right? Therefore, are they really? When you could just simply go around and be like, well, no, obviously not. Obviously, the definition of a god is what fulfills, right? It's the commonality between all of them, right? Why would you be so deliberately fucking annoying, right? Obviously, the definition that people firmly believe of what is a god is what is common between all of these things that people refer to as a god. Why would you go the complete opposite direction of that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. So it tries to be so fucking contrarian all the damn time. I hate it. And here it becomes clear why most historians, including myself, believe that Kagranak was highly influenced by the writings of Barik. Barik was the one who formulated the idea of an artificial god. Kagranak was the one who tried to create one. During the Middle Merithic era, the Orcs, or the Ursameri, were transformed into what they are now. Their culture is and was very different from the ones of the other Mer. Orcs are adapted to war and fighting, so their whole culture. Oh, I think it's a typo. So it is their whole culture. Also, their thinkers concern themselves with such matters. The most important of those thinkers is Lugrub Gro Sharbag. Lugrub lived soon after the transformation of the Ursameri, and he was troubled by this. He began to think about how the identity of his people had been changed by this transformation. Finally, he concluded that the transformation was rather a blessing than a curse. In his opinion, the Ursamari were the race chosen to conquer or destroy all other races. To the Ursamari, the gift of war was given so that they could fulfill their holy duty. He also added that the only way for mortals to reach immortality was to be remembered forever. He introduced the principle of the immortal fighter, living for all times in songs and legends concerning his battles. The way of the warrior, so Legrube thought, was the only way to achieve the status of a god. He also taught that the greatest warrior and conqueror would change Tamriel, and that he would really reach immortality. Some think that this was a prophecy of Tiber Septim. Why does the book just end here? Right? Why does it just end here? I feel like we just end with like a one-off shoot into... Right? This could have been a different book when we talk about the Ursamari shit. Right? That could have been something else. This doesn't tie back into like the main thesis of this book nor the entire anthology. Dog, I feel like this is so poorly written. I feel like this is so bad. This is so bad. And it goes up its own ass so much. Oh, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. It's rough. Yeah. The last part of my book, Varieties of Thought, will concern itself with the history of philosophy in Tamriel and what different philosophers have thought and said and written. Yeah, but shouldn't it tie... I don't know. I guess it doesn't necessarily, if you want to make it be like very encyclopedic, but it really should tie back to some of the other like ideas presented in past volumes. Yeah. Yeah, we were asking if this the third volume would redeem it, and it simply has not. It's really bad. I do not like it at all. I think it could do with more closely paying attention to how different phases and stuff tend to be presented within Elder Scrolls, right? The way in which historically the game has presented, like, oh, this is a different culture or whatever. This is a different pantheon, you know, but there's also some shared connectivity, you know, sort of building the mythos out. I feel like it could really benefit from that to sort of make it more in line with it. This feels so much like, I don't know, someone just writing in their own thoughts and ideas inside of the book, inside of this anthology. It's rough. Right. And I don't, like I said, I don't really necessarily enjoy the prose of it. And parts of it feel so nonsensical, like the way in which it just, maybe if there were like if you wrote the book from the get-go with being more encyclopedic in nature, being like, this is the section on Orsimer belief of the whatever era, right? Or going back to Merithic era Altmer philosophy and stuff like that. Maybe that would hit and work well, but it's just not written that way. It feels like we're just bouncing around everywhere without any like good through line. No, there's no like proper closure or conclusion to it. You know, if we're meant to look at this as sort of a more academic book, it should be rewritten in such a way, you know? Yeah. Rough stuff. Not a fan. Varieties of Thought, volume 1 through 3. Don't enjoy it. Not even in like a, this is so horrific in a comical way, like Fool's Ebony or whatever it was. At least that was so shitty. It was really funny, right? It was so bad. It was a laugh riot. This is just like, this is bad in the sense that I feel bad for the person who wrote it. All right. Well, we better close it out right there. All right. When next we return, we will probably look around here. I think we should go to Dun Akafel and maybe this Sede Dresdri place. Is it the Dwemer Ruin over there? Oh shit, I'm in combat with a Cliff Racer. There we go. But yeah, whatever it is out here, the 2 locations that we were talked to about, we should probably check them out. At the very least, Dun Akafel looks fucking gigantic on the map. It's like a whole ass city, town. Right? It's the same size. It constitutes the same number of little square markers as Akamora. Look at that. That's buck wild. But yeah, regardless, our adventures will continue. We'll head out further eastward toward Necrom. Part of me is tempted to see what's going on down here, but maybe we'll leave that for future, unless a quest sends me down there, you know? Maybe we'll leave that for like when we get on onto like Volume 3 of Morrowind Mondays with a Telvanni character. Maybe we'll head down that way then. We'll see. All things tentative. All right, until next time, please take care of each other.